Hello everyone. So welcome to the channel of RD Automation Learning. So in this video would tell you about the layoffs and who actually needs to worry about these layoffs, right? So let's discuss in detail because many a times these particular things are asked to us via the talkmate or many of the people are connecting with us that what is the truth? What is the truth behind the IT industry? Right. Everyone is asking these kind of questions, right? Will AI replace testing things or not? So I'll be explaining you everything in detail. So don't worry about anything. And these are all the practical facts and data that I'm going to tell you. Okay. So let's start with the 2025. So as you can see in 2025 in the IT industry, okay, what we have seen here is that the layoffs have been growing on. And not only that, few of the service-based companies like TCS, who did not laid off any people till now. They have also laid off actually 2% of their workforce. So there's a separate video that I am creating for the TCS employees only who are getting laid off. So we'll come to that in that particular video. But as of now, if you see 2025, the IT industry, we are seeing a lot of news around layoffs and the service industries are not picking up so well that they have been since last 40, 45 years. Now, what's the reason behind that? So the reason is very simple. As you can see, the companies they are looking for cost cutting. When I say cost cutting, so it's not like they'll not give you tea or coffee or they'll not give you anything like the AC will be off in the office. It won't be like that. But it is in the bigger terms. They are looking from laying off the people who are getting more paid compared to what their roles and responsibilities are, or maybe who are having a bigger budget of salary compared to the other people. So for example, if you take an example of a middle manager, okay, I'm just taking an example. Let's say he's making 5x as a part of his salary. Okay. And if you take a normal employee, they are making 2x as of now. Okay. So what would a company do? A company would lay off a middle manager to hire at least two employees with 2x salary. Okay. So that the work is being done. And at the same time, you are going into reducing the cost also from the organization, from the employer perspective. I'm telling you, this is what they are thinking. Now, who would do the work of this middle manager? Who would do the work of this middle manager? So either it would be done, it can be done by AI, right? So any middle managers who were making the reports, who were making the presentations, who were making some kind of documentations, those can be easily made using AI. There are a lot many tools wherein you just prompt a text and the presentation could be created, and you can enhance that with your own statistics, and you can make a version out of it using your knowledge perspective. But it is something that is not fully dependent on the middle management now. So what they will do, any employee, one of the employee who is getting 2x, they'll ask them to revise the same presentation which has been created by the using the AI. And this middle manager, before he gets laid off, would be asked to give some KT to the next employee. So middle manager gets replaced. Okay. Now coming to the QA jobs. So many of the folks, they've been telling, oh, I got laid off because I was replaced by AI. No, it's not like that. I would tell you about this AI things in detail. See, if I write the test cases using AI, okay, it's not like AI cannot do anything, but at the same time, I'll tell AI is not that much mature enough. What I have done here is I've seen some of the examples into the organizations itself, wherein if they use this AI for writing the test case, for designing the test cases, at least their 2 to 4 hours of work is reduced, meaning their time is saved. And they are using this particular time for their new user stories in the sprint. Okay. So I have connected with many of the professionals in the QA industry, and I have seen they are leveraging AI with respect to getting the code reviewed. So for example, let's say if you want to do a code review of the automation source code that you have written, okay, so you can get it first reviewed by the AI tools itself. okay, and you update your work, update your code, okay, and then you go for the peer review. So here what is happening, if I am at your place, let's say my code is getting reviewed, okay, I came to know from AI tool that at 11th line I could have written a code much more properly at 11th line. So I'll correct that code and then I'll go ahead again for review. Now I'll get a green mark from the AI. Now I'll go for the peer review. Now here, if anyone is doing peer review, at least that much a portion of the code review is already taken care by the AI. So he can now focus on other things. And the code review, which was supposed to be done by him, where he was expecting to find out the error at 10th line, that is reduced, right? Because it is already taken care by the AI. And that has been corrected by the individual also. So you can leverage AI for getting the things done. Okay. So don't mix the things that are happening in the market right now. If you see there are too many layoffs and then you see testers are getting laid off. No, it's not like that. Okay. The cost cutting is happening and the cost cutting is will be happening at the various levels of the IT industry. You won't believe earlier people used to work in one company, get a job, work in one company, and they used to retire in the same company. Okay. These days, in an entire IT career, it is expected that you jump from one company to another company in at least 2 years or 2.5 or 3 years. Because if you will stick to the same company, your financial growth will not be there. And one more thing, now what is happening is again, if you see, so this is about the MNC, okay, multinational companies, okay, big giants. For example, like TCS, Infosys, what they have been doing is this is what the middle management is being affected. But now if you see startups, okay, startups have got few of the freshers or let's say less experienced people, but they are leveraging AI and they are proposing to the clients that we can work this much amount of work we can do in less number of hours and will get you the productivity done. So why don't you give the projects to us? So this kind of things have been happening in the startup based companies. Okay. Now, before we move ahead, you already know that since the testers are already in demand, the automation testing is in demand. I'd like to tell you about a core Java for beginners end-to-end course that we have been designing and it's completed for you. You can become a zero to hero basically by going through this course only. So these days there is a lot of demand of automation testing jobs. There's a lot of hiring going on automation testing. If you are an immediate joiner, if you know in and out of automation, that is, you have worked actually in the project. It should not be like that you haven't worked on that. You have just gone through one or two videos and then you go for an automation tester interview. They'll ask you, where did you implement OOPS concept in automation framework, and you fail in that. So you have to understand the basics. You have to understand the fundamentals. So this course has been designed for that only, core Java for beginners end-to-end course where, wherein you would get a lot of things that are covered end to end. So if you are looking for an automation testing, to learn automation testing, you would need some of the knowledge of the programming. You would need to know about strings. You would need to know about OOPS concepts, arrays, collections. So many things are there, right? So definitely you have to understand one of the programming language. You have to practice theoretically, practically in that, and then you would be able to get an idea on how to do automation further. So automation testing is in demand, and this course is created for the beginners, for the manual testers, for the non-IT people, for anyone who would like to move to the automation testing. It is explicitly created for that. Now, coming back to this particular agenda of the video, 2025 layoffs, or I would say, what is the next thing in the future in the IT industry, right? See, we should all accept the fact that there is a shift happening in the IT industry now. Okay. Shift is happening. The things have already changed. If you see last 10 to 15 years, there were no tools like Cypress or I would say Playwright or I would say robotic process automation, right? So from 2000 to 2005 or 2008, people used to do functional testing. They used to write test cases. Today also they are writing the test case, but their way has got changed. It is similar to kind of, if you take an example, at time it was a time in our lives when Nokia was a mobile in which we used to use it for the communication purpose, and the games like that snake game was very uh, favorite of many of the people, right, including me also. We used to play that a game a lot, right? But today, if you give that Nokia phone to anyone, yeah, I can understand. If you give it to some soulful person, he will understand the importance of that. But if you give to someone who has been using um, iPhone, iOS devices, or Android phones, smartphones, they'll just throw that phone because it doesn't has camera features. It does not has so many advanced level of features which Nokia had, right? Sorry, which today's phone do have that Nokia does not have it. So people will not accept. So similarly, there is a shift in the IT industry. Now, these days, people are expecting you to do a tech-driven testing, right? Tech-driven testing, or I would say the AI-driven testing, right? Of course, you have to apply your concepts, you have to apply your basics, your fundamentals also in that. But at the same time, you have to leverage AI. That's what is the ask from the companies. And anyone who can understand the prompts, anyone who can do the prompt engineer, anyone who can cross check whether AI is giving you a proper response to that, to your query or not. That how you can cross check when you have at least basic idea of, okay, if you write about this, 1 plus 1 is equal to what? As of now, you're not calculating. AI will give you the answer too, but you should be at least having that knowledge that the answer should be two. Then you would be able to get the proper answers, because it might happen that AI might give you 1 plus 1 is equal to 11 as well. Then what would happen in that case? So if you tell 11 to your leads, to your managers, then what they will do? They'll lay you off. They'll tell you that you don't know 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. It's not 11, right? So you should know the answers that are given by the AI, are those proper or those are not proper? And if those are not proper, then how to rectify them? Or if the solution given by AI is not working, then what is the next approach? So these kind of things you have to understand. So if you want to move ahead into the testing, and if you want to really make a good career in the testing, now is the time. 2025, you can have your foundation, start learning about these things, start updating yourself, and make sure you reach to a proper level wherein you are not optional employee for any of the company, but you become a star employee of the company, right? You should be able to understand the business. You should be able to test from the business perspective. You cannot write any prompt into the AI that would give you the testing which you can do. Yes, it's you. People are still they will be looking, and there will be a demand of human based testing, right? AI can help you for writing the test cases, for maybe executing the test case also to that limit, or for reviewing the code, but they need someone who can at least do the testing from the user perspective, from the end user perspective, and you have to leverage AI for that, right? So if you know how to leverage AI for that, if you know how to uh, get the things done from AI, plus from your end as well, you can do the things faster, then the market is for you, right? So this is the truth behind the IT industry and the layoffs that are happening in the 2025. Many of the people were shocked, and they were telling, we thought we invested a lot for the software testing, but it's gone. So it's not gone. It is just the things, the approach has changed, right? So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for more updates.